No.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Romeo. So being 6:30 and having quorum, I'll open the planning board meeting for Wednesday, November 18th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. Before I begin, I will, if I can find my, I'll read, let's see. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Bridgewater Planning Board will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, and every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access proceedings in real time. The meeting is being recorded, and within 48 hours, we will post a link of the recording to the town's website and or town social media pages. The following members of the Bridgewater Planning Board are participating remotely this evening. Myself, Patrick Driscoll, the chair, Raymond DeGemian, the vice chair, Jean Garino, the clerk, and Stephen Geller. During the meeting of the board, all votes of the board will be taken via roll call. The following Bridgewater Town staff are participating remotely. Mr. Elijah Romulus, the assistant town planner, and Mrs. Leslie Dorr, the office administrator. At this time, everyone's mic is muted. The board's mics will be unmuted through the whole meeting, and as items appear in the agenda, the project's representatives' mics will be unmuted. If there's a project that includes a public hearing and allows for public comment, we ask that you use the chat feature. And again, for this, we have the chat feature shut off to the public, but it'll go to the host. To ask a question by listing your name and address with your question. The host will recognize the question in order. You can also use the raise my hand feature in the participant menu. You'll be unmuted when the chair recognizes you. Again, please state your name and address before asking any questions. If you are on the phone, you can dial *9 to raise your hand. So the first public hearing continuation we have this evening is 60 to 88 Broad Street, West Point Realty Development. I don't believe they're with us this evening, but their representative, Silver Engineering, did submit a continuation request dated November 12th, 2020 to the Bridgewater Planning Board, Town of Bridgewater, 66 Central Square, Bridgewater, Mass. 02324, regarding Broad Street continuation request. Dear board members, on behalf of our client, Silver Engineering Associates, would like to request a continuation from the meeting scheduled for November 18th, 2020 to December 16th meeting date. The request will allow for plans to be revised and submitted to the board for review by December 9th. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Sincerely, Larry P. Silva, PE, President of Silver Engineering. So the agenda advertised that this continuation request was received, so we're not going to really discuss it other than have a board discussion as to the continuation request this evening. And we did discuss that the 16th, we were just notified that on the 16th, I should say, that one of the board members may not be present. So how does the board want to proceed? Do we want to go to December 16th, knowing we may not have a full contingent, or do we want to go to the first meeting in January?
We probably should go to the first meeting in January because we also don't know about Michael, who's not here tonight either.
I agree, considering the importance of this development. I think we need all 5 members present. So I would suggest the 6th of January also.
Okay, Mr. Geller, do you think it's more likely than not that you won't be able to attend on the 16th, or do you think there's a chance you could? Or
as of right now, it's more likely that I won't. Unfortunately, I won't know for a couple days.
Okay.
But more than most likely, I will be unable to attend.
All right, so we could either continue it to the 16th, and then continue it again to the 6th, or we can just go right to the 6th now. If somebody would like to make a motion, we can discuss it.
I'll make a motion that the 60-88 Broad Street, West Point Realty public hearing be continued to the first meeting in January, which I believe is January 6th
At 6:30.
at 6:30.
Do we have a second on that?
Second that.
By Mrs. Guarino. Mr. Romulus, are you comfortable with that?
Yes, I'm comfortable with that.
All right. So, any discussion on that? Now, Mr. Romulus, there's no, from what I understand from what Ms. Burke has said in the past, is there's no need to, I mean, if we go beyond the 16th, which they're asking for, there's no constructive approval concerns or anything like that, correct?
That's correct. During this state of emergency, which we're still in, it has delayed those deadlines.
That's a good point. Do we have a deadline, Elijah?
No, it's
There are
once-
there are no deadlines at all.
not within the state of emergency, and I believe it's 45. They add 45 days even after the state of emergency has been lifted.
Okay, thank you.
So I think we'll probably end up at the 6th anyway, but I'm just wondering if it makes sense to, just so we don't screw anybody up, or somebody that may have, should we go to the 16th and tell the applicant most likely it's going to go to the 6th, just to keep it on track and to keep track of it, or are we fine going to the 6th? I guess I just don't want to make any mistakes, that's all.
Well, we have a motion and a second.
Yeah, and I think also going to the 6th gives the applicant and the Community Economic Development Board a lot more time to not only put the complicated project together, but also to evaluate it. So I think the 6th is the best one, even if we had a full board.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second to go to January 6th. I'll do the roll. Do any more discussion?
Elijah, just curiosity, can we actually do that even though the request is the 16th? So we'd actually be denying their continuation to the 16th.
Yeah, so you can instead extend it to the 6th. Because there aren't any constructive approval, worries with this state of emergency, it's not as imperative to adhere to that request.
Okay.
Okay, great. And we'll obviously let the applicant know, Mr. Romulus, in the form of an email or a letter, that we continued it to the 6th, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Because I mean, we have to, for a special permit, we really need to have all 5 people. I mean, you need 4 minimum, but we should have 5, correct?
Yes, and if I may also add, since August of this year, the applicant has asked for a continuation after every month. So the extended time may be a benefit.
Okay. All right, so I'll start the roll. If the discussion is over, I'll start the roll call. Mr. Geller,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino,
Yes.
Mr. Ajemian,
Yes,
and I'm a yes. Okay, great. So then the only other item we have is we have 2 sets of minutes to be approved. And I saw that Mrs. Guarino had sent some amendments to Mrs. Dorr today. So we have minutes to be approved for 10/20, 10/14/20, and 10/21/20. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'm sorry, what is 10:14 and 10:21? Where'd you get the third one?
I didn't, no, 10/14/20 and 10/21/20. I'm sorry, Les.
Right,
Just two sets of
2
minutes.
sets, okay. I did see Jean's email with some grammatical corrections, and I did make those this evening.
Right, they were just grammatical. There was no substantive
No.
changes, so, okay.
Right.
All right. Thanks to our proofreader. So do we have a motion to approve those, the minutes of 10:14 and 10:21:20?
So moved. I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from the 10:14:20 and 10:21:20 meeting.
Second,
So motion by Mr. Geller, second by Mr. Jemian. Any discussion? So start with Mrs. Garino,
Yes.
Mr. Jemian,
yes.
Mr. Geller,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So, okay. So do we have any reports this evening from you, Mr. Ramirez?
Just one. Les did send out an email earlier. I would just take a look at it. It's for an annual training. I guess I think it's towards civility and inclusion. So if you have the opportunity, definitely take a look at it.
So I just got that email and I actually have a question. That's a Zoom, that's a live Zoom workshop, I imagine.
Yes, I'm not sure if it's Zoom, but it is a online workshop.
Somebody explain who's putting it on and what it entails.
Say what?
Somebody explain who's putting this on and what the workshop entails.
Give me 1 second. I can just take a look at
I don't
the.
think the email quite was clear, at least in my mind.
So Elijah, while you're looking that up, and you may not have the answer, but we already have a planning board meeting that night at 6:30. So it may be difficult for some of us to, work at home and get back to wherever we do our planning board meeting. Like I come back to my office, for example.
Mhm.
Will there be an opportunity to watch the recording on some sort of a streaming service or something after it's presented on that evening?
I can definitely ask. That's a good point. It is at 4 p.m. the day of our meeting. So
Yeah, it's just I saw the date. I said, oh boy, it's 4 p.m. I'm already running around on Wednesdays to get this meeting in, and I don't think I could commit to two things to the town of Bridgewater on the same day. So I didn't, but I think it's important to participate in. So I didn't know if you could find out, or Miss Burke or Miss Dorr could find out if there's some opportunity to watch that after, or will we post the recording somewhere on our website or something like that?
yes, and I can look into that. And to Mr. Jamian, I'll just read the one. I guess there's one line that kind of I think captures it. This seminar will define cultural awareness and culture, offer compelling facts about today's changing cultural landscape, address the unique psychological challenges associated with building cultural awareness, and provide tools for participants to enhance their cultural awareness. This is being put on by Maya, which is the municipal insuring agency.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just curious about what they meant by cultural awareness. That's all. It's no big deal right now to go over it.
Yeah, no problem.
And
So that's my only I guess update.
all right, so I have something now that I see Council Wood is on. I can see his face on the screen over here. So this Saturday, he's hosting a 2-hour cleanup at the Styles and Hot with CL Noonan Container. So I think a few of us will be there from 8 to 10 in the morning if you want to help clean up that site. So
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I know you're into the trails and walking and stuff, Ray. So I'm gonna head down early, probably before 8 o'clock, and
It'd be
help out
nice
for a while.
if the bridges are repaired. One of them is in terrible shape. At least it was the last time I was there. It's dangerous, in fact. But yeah, I'll be there.
And I don't want to speak for Council Wood, and you can unmute him if you want, but I think it's just, I don't know if we're gonna get into bridges. I think it's just gonna focus on trash for a couple hours, so. But if any of you are around, I'll be down there, and if you want to come down, come on down
This Saturday?
this Saturday, yep,
Okay.
8 to 10 a.m.
I'll be there.
All right, do you want to unmute? Is Mr. Wood raising his hand or?
He gave a thumbs up.
All right. I hope I didn't steal your thunder, but I saw you there, so I figured I'd
That's
see
good.
if we could
Yeah.
recruit a few more. So,
Thanks, Pat.
all right, do we have a motion to adjourn? Are we all set with everything, Mr. Ramos?
Yes, we're all set.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do we
Second.
have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Geller. So I'll start the roll call. Mrs. Garino,
Yes.
Mr. Geller,
Yes.
Mr. Jimmy,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. So, wow, that was our shortest meeting in a long time.
Yes.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Have a good night.